I know, how dull, 3 videos, same outfit, gonna have to deal with it. I'm going to be doing my November book haul today. Not an overwhelming quantity of books, but I thought it would be fun to share them with you anyway. I ended up just popping to my local bookshop and spending a bit more money than I intended because I wanted to grab a few new things for non-fiction November. So there's a couple of non-fiction things in here for you guys. So the first few things I picked up aren't non-fiction. They are 2 of Roald Dahl's new short story collections, or new reprinted short story collections. The first is Deception, which has one of the creepiest covers I've seen in a very long time. Really horrible. And the other one is Madness. The other 2 are called Lust and Cruelty. I really wanted Cruelty and Lust, and may well go back and buy the others at some stage. But I thought these 2 would be good to start with. Obviously Madness interests me for, you know, obvious reasons, and I think Deception's cover was so creepy I just couldn't pass it up. But Cruelty is probably the one I'm next interested in, and Lust the last. I'll see what I think of these when I do get around to them, but I think it's going to be a bit of an odd experience to be reading Roald Dahl writing adult fiction. And then the next one I have is Grunt by Mary Roach. I've never read any Mary Roach, and I've been told so many times by you guys that I would really like it. So I thought I would grab one. I was actually looking for Stiff because that's the one that intrigued me the most, but Grunt is another one that does appeal. This is about the sort of science of soldiers and about the ways in which sort of biologists, chemists, doctors, maybe even physicists, I don't know, I've not got there yet. I expect physicists are more on the sort of murdering side, but the others, how we're keeping these soldiers alive in wartime scenarios. And I just thought it sounded really interesting. I'm not any sort of great sort of war novel or war related stuff reader, but I do find the services really interesting. And I thought that this sort of scientific perspective was something that I hadn't really seen before, and it sounded really interesting. I will try and get Stiff at some stage, but my local bookshop doesn't have it, so it is going to be an online order for me. The next one is a non-fiction new release I've wanted to get to for a little bit of time, and it's Patient HM by Dittritch. It sounds like a really interesting book. It is about a man who has epilepsy, and he goes to have this treated and has an operation that they think will stop his epilepsy, that they think will cure it. Unfortunately, they didn't really understand how brains were working properly at that time, and all they managed to do is make him lose the ability to form new memories and unformed memories and hold them. So he lives in sort of goldfish minutes, and this patient HM changed the way in which we look at memory, the way in which sort of we looked at surgery for sort of neurological conditions, and it's sold as Oliver Sacks meets Stephen King, which sounds fantastic to me, and I think it has a little bit of sort of investigative journalism going through it as well. And it's called A Story of Memory, Madness and Family Secrets. I think there's going to be a little bit more added in than just the sort of doctor's element or sort of the psychiatry element. I think it looks really interesting and I can't wait to dive into this one. Definitely going to be trying to get to this in November. And then the last non-fiction I picked up is Against Everything by Mark Grief. I'd not heard of this one before, but I fancied getting a new essay collection, and this one sounded sort of interesting but fairly sort of broad in its scope. He's talking about a lot of elements of modern society. I'm going to pick a couple from the inside flap. So he says, he asks why we put ourselves through the pains of exercise, what our concerns about diet or sex does to our fundamental worth, and what political identity the hipster might possess, and what does it mean if we listen to Radiohead or hip hop. So it sounds like it's really contemporary sort of essay collection, talking about a lot of sort of things that are sort of high in the public consciousness at the moment, and I am trying to get more into reading essay collections. I do enjoy the ones I've sort of picked up so far, and do enjoy. It's a little bit of a different reading experience, I guess, and so wanted something that was quite up to date rather than the older stuff, just to start with, because I think the relevance might make it so it's a bit of an easier read for me. So yeah, I'm really interested in getting into this one, though I haven't heard anything about it, so I can't tell you whether or not it's flopped or is going to do amazingly. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get to this one in November as well. And the very last one I have to show you is Hubert. This is a graphic novel which I actually saw on Simon from SavidgeReads channel, which I'll link down below. He's a really great fun channel. And it's all done in this quite sort of stark but very pretty sort of art style, and And it's about this man who seems like a very lonely character. He hangs out at museums alone a lot and has a very strange relationship with women. He watches a woman from his bedroom window, I believe, and becomes kind of enthralled with her. It just sounded really interesting to me. I don't know whether it's something I'm going to love or not, but I do think it looks gorgeous. I'm going to take it with me to the cafe this afternoon and read through it. I really like taking a graphic novel with me somewhere and drinking a coffee and reading the novel at the same time, and just sort of getting my thoughts all in one big bundle. So that's my plan for this afternoon. I think it's going to be really good fun. So as I say, not too much this month. I'm trying to learn how to curb down my buying so that it's in line with my reading. Now I'm trying to read a little bit less, but still hopefully there's some interesting things in there for you. I'm really excited for non-fiction November. I think it's going to be great fun, and I may do a sort of TBR or currently reading or planning to read at some stage around that if you guys would like. I know I've done some recommendations already. But if you would like to see what I'm going to be reading for non-fiction November, then please do just say in the comments down below and I'll be more than happy to oblige. I'll see you guys soon in my next video. Bye bye.